evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. The centre convened an all-party meeting today in the aftermath of the terror attack in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir, which left 26 people dead and several others injured. Now, it is clear that the government wants to hit Pakistan hard, which is why it has launched a very strong diplomatic offensive. But it also wants consensus from stakeholders on this, which is why it wants the country's political class to speak in one voice, which is why this all-party meeting was held. Incidentally, just today, addressing a public rally in Bihar's Madhubani district, the Prime Minister's first public speech after the terror attack in Kashmir, the Prime Minister emphatically said that those responsible for the terror attack and their conspirators will be punished beyond their imagination. They will be identified, tracked down and punished. This is what he has warned. Now, sources in the central government said that Union Minister for Home Affairs, Amit Shah, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reached out to several leaders of various political parties yesterday before the all-party meeting that is underway now. Will the opposition align with the government on its approach or point to gaps or work with the government to ensure what is best for the country? That is what we discuss in the course of the next 20 minutes. We will be joined by a panel of experts. We'll also get to an important voice from J&K. But first, let's listen in to what the Prime Minister said today in Bihar.
Friends, today from the soil of Bihar, I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism. Terrorism will not go unpunished. Every effort will be made to ensure that justice is done. The entire nation is firm in this resolve. Everyone who believes in humanity is with us. I thank the people of various countries and their leaders who have stood with us in these times.
Well, my colleague Aishwarya joins us now. He's been tracking this all-party meeting for us. Aishwarya, tell us the optics of this all-party meeting. This is an extremely sensitive issue. The country matters more than anything else. And I'm sure the opposition parties are also very cautious about the language that they use in this regard. Several statements have come out from opposition leaders on how they have unifiedly condemned this attack. Tell us what is expected in this meeting. What did you gather from there?
Well, look at the series of events and meetings that had taken place today in the national capital after Prime Minister's stern message from the soil of Bihar that we will first identify, then we will track down, and then we will punish the terrorists over there. Soon after that, we saw how the Home Minister and the External Affairs Minister briefed the President of India, and after that, an all-party meeting started in the Parliament. It's been more than 1.5 hours that the all-party meeting is underway. But what we have been told till now by sources within the political parties who are inside, that it was in the beginning, a 2-minute silence was observed for those who had been killed in the deadly terror attack in Pahalgam. And after that, it was a briefing that was given by the External Affairs Minister, Defence Minister and Home Minister to the political leaders who were part of the all-party meeting. The sources have indicated that the government will in all likelihood will be bringing a resolution to condemn the Pahalgam terror attack, and there would be each and every member of this all-party meeting would be given a chance to speak and also to suggest the government how to counter attack and isolate Pakistan in different ways. It is, of course, from AIMIM to all major political parties who had been invited. The responsibility was earlier given to Home Minister Amit Shah, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. And remember, the statements made by different political leaders that at this point of time, at the hour of grief, the entire political leadership, the political parties beyond the party lines, be it from the opposition parties or from the NDA, are standing together with the government of India, and whatever decision the government of India will take to provide security to our citizens and to neutralize the terrorists, the perpetrators who are sitting beyond the borderline. The political parties are together with the government, and that's the message that they wanted to send out from this all-party meeting, which is still underway in the parliament.
Right. Thank you, Aishwarya, for joining us with those details. We will keep coming back to you even as this meeting gets underway. Remember, this is an important all-party meeting that the centre has convened, and the centre hopes to build consensus on its approach to counter-terrorism that has originated from Pakistan, something that was very clear in the Pahalgam terror attack. Earlier today, we also spoke to Srinagar Lok Sabha MP Aasai Mehdi, and this is the conversation I had with him. Well, Jammu and Kashmir National Conference leader and Srinagar Lok Sabha MP Aasai Mehdi joins us now. Mr. Mehdi, thank you so much for your time on NDTV. My first question to you, sir. You've just had an all-party meeting in Srinagar. How do you see the Pahalgam terror attack? What does this mean for the people of Jammu and Kashmir? Because this kind of brutality on civilians is something the country hasn't witnessed in several years.
Well, it's a dastardly terror attack. I mean, no words are enough to condemn this act of terror. And this reminds of what we, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, in particular, have been going for the last 3 decades, and for the lives that we have sacrificed, both within Jammu and Kashmir and those from outside Jammu and Kashmir. This is a reminder of the fight that we have been fighting and the sacrifices that we have made. No words are enough to condemn this act of terror. But these were not the guests, these were the fellow citizens who laid their lives in this attack, who had come here to spend a good time, a few days out of their busy schedule, and would have, come here with hope to create good memories. But this incident left scarring memories for the families and for the population in general. So there are no enough words for us to condemn this. And
right.
I assure you, people of Jammu and Kashmir stand united against this act of terror and the ideology which feeds these kinds of acts.
Right. Just coming to that in a bit. So there have also been back-to-back review meetings in the last 2 days. Home Minister was in Pahalgam. So was the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. All party meetings are being held both in Srinagar and in Delhi. How do you look at this collective condemnation of terror? There's also a diplomatic offensive that's been pushed against Pakistan. Parties in Kashmir have been organizing bunds, speaking in one unified voice. But Mr. Mehdi, words don't build lasting peace. So clearly there's something more that's required, isn't it?
Well, more than words. There needs to be an effort to bring a complete end to these acts. And we need to evolve more, beyond words, and we need to find resolve these issues that feed these kind of acts, or provide this environment for these kind of acts. In terms of Kashmir, no political party had, ever thought that this kind of organic protest against this act of terror would be witnessed. But this organic response from the people of Jammu and Kashmir against this act of terror is not only reassuring, but a reminder that we need to do something more than words. We have been hearing about the diplomatic, posturing that has been happening for since yesterday. And we hope that something substantial happens, which brings a closer to this issue and the environment which feeds with these incidents.
Right. Mr. Mehdi, also, the resurgence of terror in Kashmir, people who have lived through the 80s and 90s in Kashmir are aware of what radicalism can do to the valley, singling out people, asking people their identities, making it clear that this is about faith and nationality, targeting tourists. What does this say about the kind of terrorism that is clearly surging in this valley? We've seen attacks on army personnel earlier, migrant workers, Kashmiri pundits, and now it's the tourists. Do you see?
More than the people in the rest of the nation, it's very important for us in Jammu and Kashmir to understand what's behind this, because this is unprecedented and unacceptable. Targeting people on the basis of their religion, on the basis of their faith, identifying them for their faith and then targeting them is unacceptable and at the same time unprecedented. What do they want to achieve out of this? What was the objective for this? We need to know, we the people of Jammu and Kashmir, because we do not identify ourselves with that kind of ideology. We have been the victims of this kind of ideology. We have always fought against this kind of ideology. But we need to know. We need to know about the people who were behind this, who organized this, and what was the purpose that they wanted to serve. This nation is already in a fragile in terms of fragile and state in terms of communal harmony. Who is it? Who are the forces? Those who want to add to the the disturbances in already a fragile social fabric. I would again say that we, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, do not, support this kind of ideology. We do not identify ourselves with this. Whoever has done this is not the enemy of those who were the victims of this attack, but the enemy of the entire humanity, enemy of the religion of Islam. I fail to understand from which teaching of Islam could they derive the strength to kill others on the basis of religion.
Right. Mr. Mehdi, when you talk about the ideology that often, drives people to do this, how do you fight that ideology? Because often it is steeped in radicalism, extremism, and we did see even in elections, there were a number of independents who, who contested elections. So clearly, would you say that there are people in the valley who need to have this wake-up call that this is not something that they should be supporting because it's at the end of the day causing a lot of bloodbath and divisions in the society?
Whoever it is, wherever it is, he or she is, whether in valley or beyond valley, people need to realize that this is unacceptable. This is beyond any parameters of humanity, and this is unacceptable at all levels. And those who would be at any level sympathetic towards this kind of a cause, need to realize that this is inhumane. It is completely unacceptable in this society. And I think, as I said, this society, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, they have reflected in their anger, in their response to this incident, and that will turn this kind of organic response from the people of Jammu and Kashmir will turn those fringe elements, into something that are not only unaccepted and they are unwanted as well.
Right. My last question to you, sir. Mr. Mehdi, how do you look at the impact of this incident on the tourism sector of Kashmir? Pahalgam, mini Switzerland, it was a popular tourist spot. All of us have dreamt of going to Kashmir at some point. It's also the bread bowl of southern Kashmir. There are these smaller places like Kulgam, Badgam, where you come from. All these places were also being improved as tourist sites. Clearly, those attempts will face a setback now. A red line has been crossed. How do you see Kashmir recovering from here on?
Though I would not want to make tourism the center point of this incident. This is beyond tourism. This is beyond the economics. It's about humanity. Humans have lost their lives in this incident, and we feel for them, and it's a loss for us. But as you said, in response to your question, the casualty is not the individuals, those who lost their lives, unfortunately. The casualty will be the bread and butter of the people of Jammu and Kashmir as well. As you know, a large section of the population in this valley, derive their, bread and butter from tourism, and it's a sector which contributes to almost 10 to 15% of the GDP of the state, and it was coming back to its great times, and it reflected in many sectors, in many activities around the valley. But after this, as someone rightly said, that those bullets were not only shot at those individuals, that those bullets were, also shot at the families, thousands of the families who earned their bread and butter. So, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to, make it a point around tourism.
Right. Sir, you've also been a critic of your own CM in the past, but in this case, are you completely with the National Conference, and also are you also aligned with some of the policies that the centre has also initiated in its counter-terrorism fight?
This is not a point where you pull out your criticism and pull out your political points and issues. This is a disaster. This is a tragedy. And we all stand united. We all stand united in response to it. and fight in our fight back. Against whatever happened in Pahalgam a few days ago.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mehdi, for giving us your time and speaking to NDTV. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was Lok Sabha MP from Srinagar, from the National Conference, Aasai Mehdi joining us. But now we also have Shazia Ilmi from the BJP. We have Mahima Singh from the Congress party. Shazia, to you first. I remember speaking to you when the Kashmir elections, the assembly campaign was on. How big is this setback for everybody, for the administration specifically? And what does this mean for your vision of Naya Kashmir? What do you think needs to be fixed in the valley? What will it take to really do that?
Well, I think all of us feel devastated. It is terrible to see things that have unraveled in the last 2-3 days. All of us feel the grief. And I don't know what to say. There's so many thoughts in my mind. Clearly, we follow the Supreme Court's orders. So I don't know whether we were ready to have an election there, whether something could have prevented this. But clearly there is something going on in this country. I'm going beyond. I'm not just talking about Uri here. I'm not talking about 2016, Uri and the surgical strikes. I'm not just talking about 2019 and Pulwama and the Balkot strikes, the air strikes. I'm talking about something deeper and that poison that there is, and I think, where is it coming from? And we've been at the receiving end since 1947. And I don't know, how much has Kashmir bled? How much has a country bled because of Kashmir? But clearly something has gone terribly wrong. And my sympathies are, I can't even sympathize, because when I can't console myself, I don't know whether I or you or anybody's in a position to console the aggrieved families, because it is beyond consolation now.
Right.
It's a huge setback for Naya Kashmir. There's a reason why I'm not mentioning 2016 and 2019, because this is far worse than that, and those were such huge tragedies. But I think this poison that there is, and the enemy within, and all the fake narratives that are used, which have led to this poison and this discord, must be cut out totally. There is no scope for, forget terrorism, even terror seekers, terror creators of fake narrative, people who go abroad and trash India and lie about India, and with this fake narrative of how unsafe minorities are. Because this is what you see, result of a extremely poisonous discourse, untrue, selfish, completely diabolical discourse. And that must end. And I think after this, there'll be no takers for this rubbish anymore.
Okay. Mahima Singh, you heard Shazia out. We also saw statements from the Congress leadership. Is the party far more careful of its criticism of the government now, specifically because this is also about the larger question of national interest and national safety here?
Jai Hind, Vasudha, first of all, deepest condolences to those who have lost their loved ones. There are no words in which we can really grieve this loss, because what has happened is a direct attack, is a cowardly, dastardly direct attack on our unity and integrity of this country. I was hearing the BJP spokesperson carefully, and I hope the BJP has come across and read the resolution we have passed in our CWC today, because a CWC was convened. And there's no denying, Vasudha, that there have been major lapses in our intelligence. It's been an intelligence failure. There have been major lapses in our security protocols. Why did this happen? A comprehensive analysis needs to be conducted into those intelligence failures and security lapses. We also urge the government to look at these questions very critically and promptly, because as I speak, the all-party meet is on, because the Amarnath Yatra, is imminent. It's right around the corner. I was listening to the BJP spokesperson, and I agree with her that people have gone out and said that, earlier India was like this, but now it is safe. So I think the government needs to come out of its state of denial. This whole narrative of Naya Kashmir is exactly what is hurting the unity, integrity, and sanctity of our borders. Because we need to accept that the danger is right there around the corners. We need to understand that the security arrangements in this country will have to be robust, transparent, proactive. They will come from a place of acceptance. Till the point we go on saying that, that we are all safe and secure, we have our army is working so hard at the borders, but the government will need to understand that the threat is real. And we need to keep looking at it directly.
Shazia, there are, adding to what Mahima said, there are also key questions that are being asked not just by opposition parties, but by experts also. And, that if there was any complacency in assuming that terrorists won't be targeted, or have terror groups refocused on the valley due to reduced pressure, or did we fail to take the Pakistani army chief's speech as a warning sign? Clearly, the government also will have to answer these questions at some point, isn't it?
Vasudha, shame on you and shame on this lady. I bring shame to you for questioning our agencies and actually being and supporting terrorists.
We are questioning the government. We are questioning the government.
NDTV
there were intelligence reports, Vasudha. I interject, sorry.
Shame on you. You know why?
The shame is on the government. Why are they politicizing? No, Vasudha. No, I will not allow this.
I'm just asking you. See, I'm just asking you that,
what is this kind of,
okay, but let's just have Shazia, please. Let's just have Shazia, please.
Because just now you're talking about my army.
No, Vasudha. She's nobody to bring.
Shazia,
the shame has been brought on the country by the government, by the security lapses, by the intelligence failures. No.
Shame on you, Vasudha. And listen to me. Do some homework before you come and become an anchor. What are you saying? That we were not ready. That
Shazia, that's not what I said.
You said that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I basically said that
the lady and whose party has led to this situation. The way this whole thing of which religion is this? Who goes all over the world and spreads hatreds and talk about how Muslims are victimized? When
okay, you're questioning Rahul Gandhi.
It was the Supreme Court which mandated the election. We were there. We were abrogated to Article 370. You know how Kashmir has been burning. And yes, it's a setback in Kashmir.
Yes, Shazia, we get your point completely. It's a valid point.
Let me get back to our Prime Minister, to my country and my army will not be tolerated. So I'm sorry, Vasudha. I know you don't
let me get in a response from Mahima here. Mahima, see, a lot about Jammu and Kashmir is not just about,
BJP spokesperson needs to be sorry.
Mahima, this is about radicalism. This is about ideology as well, right? So how are you going to fight that? Because this is about radicalism and ideology. This is about people, thinking that getting into radicalism will also fetch them certain things. How are you going to look at something like that?
Vasudha, BJP spokesperson is rightly sorry. She should be sorry because the BJP has been politicizing this whole issue. You see, Pulwama victims are still waiting for a justice. Please allow me to respond, Vasudha, like you allowed her to respond.
Yeah.
You see, the BJP has a lot to answer. The bodies have just been, families have bade farewell to their loved ones just a day ago, and the Prime Minister is out electioneering in Bihar. What do we assume of that?
See, he was also in Bihar for the National Panchayati Raj Day, so that is not electioneering. It was part of a government program. So I don't think that we can really blame the Prime Minister for that because he's there for a government program. Let me get in Shazia here for her closing remarks. Shazia, closing remarks from you. Yeah.
Vasudha, this doesn't behave your channel, and you
I'm coming to you. Let me ask Shazia.
You have allowed the BJP spokesperson to have it her way. BJP Chhattisgarh tweets about Hindu-Muslim. You see, they are reducing this whole act against clarity to Hindu-Muslim.
Can we just have Shazia? Yeah.
Do you know when this happened?
Yes, Shazia,
2009. And Naya Kashmir, do you know what's happened to Kashmir? And do you know the lady who was speaking, the family to which she pays allegiance and the party have done this? They go all over, they go abroad and they go all over trashing our government. And now she's blaming our security forces. You are taking her question. It's not you. I'm not talking. Vasudha, I'm very angry. I don't mean to take out my anger on you. But you should know better than question our army and our intelligence
agencies. No, I'm not questioning.
Shazia,
I didn't question the army at all. I will never do that.
You should not allow asking. I mean, लाखों लानत में भेजती हूँ, लानत.
No, you please state your point
shame
here.
on
Yeah.
these people who are questioning our Prime Minister and our
No, I'm
army
just
and our
asking your
intelligence.
response here. I'm not
You know how would I
really.
respond?
Yeah.
Ask her party members and the Robert Vadra and the likes and Rahul Gandhis of the world.
Okay, let's ask her that. Okay, Mahima Singh, you heard Shazia. Now it's your turn. Please respond.
Vasudha, you are allowing the politicization of this whole issue. Vasudha, we are questioning the government if we should not ask questions of the Home Minister and the Prime Minister today. Who should we ask? We are reminded of Chitti Singhipura. We are reminded of security lapses during Chitti Singhipura. That was also the BJP government around then. You see, Vasudha, this whole government, they will not own up, they will not be, want to be accountable. Pulwama happened in the same manner.
Also not the
Victims
time
are
to
still
ask
awaiting
these
justice.
because there will
What is
obviously
she talking
be
about?
review meetings that will be held, to ask those questions. The most important thing is also to stand united against terror.
You'll have to hold a fair
plug
debate.
those
You'll have to do
gaps
justice. You are doing
and
injustice
work
to the
together.
deceased, the demised martyrs of this act of terrorism.
Okay, so could the all-party meeting become a platform for the government to assert its foreign policy or renew its counter-terrorism measures? Remember that this is also the time for the opposition and the parties and the ruling party, the ruling coalition, to come together and forget its differences and work on only one thing, which is to basically counter the kind of terrorism that we have seen in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. We'll keep tracking all of that. With that, it's a wrap on the show. More news and updates on the other side.